Today I want to do just a little video about the SOAP method and how I use that in my Bible study. So SOAP stands for Scripture, Observation, Application, and Prayer. And I figured out, I learned about this method of study through the Love God Greatly group. Excuse my dog drinking in the background. If you hear a strange noise, it's him. He likes to get attention while I'm trying to record. But anyway, so I picked up the Love God Greatly Bible and then just the journal from Walmart here, and I decided I was going to start using the SOAP method in the book of Daniel. So I will turn there here. Just kind of show you a little bit about what I've done in the last month or so. So in the beginning of each book of the Bible, in the Love God Greatly Bible, there is a reading plan. So for the book of Daniel, we have a 6-week reading plan, and it goes Monday through Friday each week. It gives you a scripture to read each day, and then it gives you a scripture to SOAP. So I'll kind of just move this closer for a minute here so you can kind of see. Sorry, it's not a very good angle. You can see the plan there a little bit, hopefully. And then what I did was in my journal here, my daughter decorated this for me for Mother's Day. So what I was doing, and let me try to get this on camera a little better here. There we go. So for the month of June, I was writing out a scripture. I was doing a scripture writing plan also, which has nothing to do with SOAP, but they're both in here. And then I was following the SOAP reading plan for Daniel. So the first day here, my scripture to SOAP was Daniel 1, 8-9, and it says, "But Daniel made up his mind that he would not defile himself with the royal delicacies or the royal wine. He therefore asked the overseer of the court officials for permission not to defile himself. Then God made the overseer of the court officials sympathetic to Daniel." So then my observation from that scripture was that Daniel was not afraid to stand up for what he believed in, even as a youth in a foreign place. He was willing to give up something pleasant, the royal delicacies, too. For my application, I said, "This gives me more confidence to stand up for what I believe in, even if that is unpopular or if I have to give up something I would enjoy." And then my prayer was, "Lord, help me to be brave enough to stand firm in my convictions like Daniel. Please give me the strength that I need to live this way." So when I have my scripture written up here, but this is the section that I did the SOAP in, so you can see it's not a ton of writing, and you can write as much or as little as you want. There's some days that I wrote, a full page plus, and there's some days that I wrote a sentence or two for each part of the plan. So it's really up to you, and it really depends on what your reading is for that day as well. So let me find another to share here. Okay, so on this day over here, I did Daniel chapter 2, verses 13 as my SOAP method. Sorry, my camera's a little off today, so I apologize. I keep turning the books around. So for Daniel 2:13, I said, "For my scripture is, so a decree went out, and the wise men were about to be executed. They also sought Daniel and his friends so they could be executed." So this scripture is in Daniel chapter 2 is where King Nebuchadnezzar had a dream, and he told all of the wise men and sorcerers and etc. that he wanted them to not only interpret his dream, but he wasn't even going to tell them the dream. He wanted them to tell him what he dreamed and what it meant. So, of course, they're all like, "Man, you're crazy. Nobody's going to be able to do that." So he was like, "Okay, then I'm going to kill everyone unless someone tells me what it means." So, yeah, nice guy. So they also were seeking Daniel and his friends because they were officials in Babylon at that time as well, so they were important people as well. So they were going to be killed also unless someone was able to interpret this dream. So my observation for that was the king was seeking God in men. He wanted someone to read his mind and interpret his dream to calm the inner turmoil he was feeling. He needed God, but he didn't know that he took his frustration out on his advisors. So I'm saying here, he's looking to people instead of God. and then he's frustrated because these people can't give what only God can give. My application on this was how many times that I may not even realize do I turn to people instead of God and expect them to meet needs that only God can fill. Then I feel frustrated, disappointed, or lash out. Only God can fulfill these needs, and I need to depend on Him instead of other people. And then my prayer was, God, please help me to rely on you more fully. I can love and trust other people as fellow travelers in life, but I should only be trusting in you as my Redeemer. So that's just a little bit about the SOAP method of study. And I use, as I said before, my Love God Greatly Bible to do that, but you don't need the Love God Greatly Bible to use this method. You can use any Bible. It's convenient that this Bible has the plans for each book. It tells you exactly what to read, what scriptures to soap. So that makes it easy, but you could really use it with any Bible. You could go through any book. You can, read a chapter a day, or just decide how many verses you want to read that day. Pick out a verse or two that stands out to you and then write it down. Write down your observations about that verse. Write down your application or how it applies to you in your own life, and then write out a prayer. So really all you need is any Bible and a journal, a pen. If you like to type, you can do it on your laptop or iPad or whatever device you use. And it's easy enough to do. So that is the SOAP method. It's just one of a few methods of study I've been trying out, and so far I really like it, and I've gone through the book of Daniel, and I plan to go through a New Testament book, probably one of Paul's letters next. I haven't quite decided yet. I'm leaning towards Philippians, so I'm going to continue to use the method that way. So I hope this is helpful to you and just adds another Bible study tool into your belt.